This is the dude right here who pops off of the screen, Christian Leeroy Duncan, CLD. And he pulled some very Michael Venom Page-esque moves in this fight. The only problem is, if you pull those moves off, you got to win, right? If you're going to do the flashiness, if you're going to be unconventional, you got to win. And he did not win. He arguably lost all 3 rounds, right? However, he did have a bloodied, gashed up Armen Petrosyan. So it was one of those weird spots where you look like you took no damage, but you absolutely lost the fight. What is the stock looking like for Christian Duncan? Because some people are saying crazy things, right? Like, this dude, fraud alert, he's not on the level he's supposed to be. I just think that this was a terrible matchup based on where he's at in his career. Like, if you're trying to build a prospect, you don't feed them to Armen Petrosyan, you know what I mean? But what are your thoughts?
Well, that's the exact thing, Derek. This dude coming in 2 fights into the UFC, you want to build a prospect and you throw him against Petrosyan, basically a war-torn veteran who's been in there, grizzled at least. This dude, with the strikes that CLD was throwing, Petrosyan saw them miles away, literally miles away. He was seeing the trap set up and laughing. Anytime CLD would turn and give he's going to fake spin, like basically looking over his shoulder, Petrosyan would just step back. Literally just go ahead, bro. We're way out of range. There's no way you can hit me here. I don't know what you're trying. Basically looked like it was a coaching session, if you will. Some guy comes in, has a lot of athleticism, ability, maybe knocked out a couple people before, and then you go in against somebody who really knows what they're doing, and they're seeing stuff just gliding by, not even a glance. And like you said, yeah, did he bloody him up? Yeah, optics-wise, some might have thought CLD won this fight. But to be honest with you, Derek, I agree with you. Not a single round. I didn't have a single round score to Christian Leeroy Duncan, unfortunately, because that was one I picked. So it's a little let down right there.
Yeah, no, but you could see the raw talent, though. That's the thing. Is like he's not. Yeah. The thing is, there's no jab there. There's no. I'm gonna just measure range, and I'm gonna be in the pocket, and I'm gonna throw a crazy far teep kick. I'm gonna blast away a right hand. I'm gonna throw Superman punches. Everything's flashy. Everything takes a lot of explosion. So come rounds 2 and round 3, while he's still dangerous, some of that pop wore off, and now I could see it coming a little bit better. And then, once again, circling back, Armen Petrosyan is just not the guy you want to give a prospect to like this to build them up. I think that Christian Duncan's biggest downfall was that in that last fight that he took against Dusko, Dusko got the knee injury, and they just count that as, oh, that's a TKO for Christian Duncan, 8-0 undefeated. I think this dude's going to be really, really good. I did not like when he did that spinning, turn my back and chase you with my back to you. Because imagine you're fighting anybody with who's a little more willing to risk it and has legit grappling chops. You can get choked out immediately offering up your back like that. Petrosyan, even though he did opt to grapple a little bit, I think he was just I'm just going to play it safe. I'm not even going to try to fall for your little tricks. I'm just going to step back, wait till you turn, and boom. So big win by Armen Petrosyan. I will say, when you look at the numbers right here, this was actually the most interesting part. Significant strikes was only an 89 to a 59 difference in favor of Petrosyan. So it's not like Petrosyan was just completely outworking him, but he did do the little things where craft together combos instead of single shots, which is, what wins you fights. Prediction, and then we'll move on. Christian Duncan, do we see him as a top 15 fighter in this division in the next, 2 years or so? This is middleweight after all.
This is middleweight after all. Derek, if you were going to say a year, I was going to say no. 2 years, I think so. I think he can get the fundamentals of technique, because you're right. If this dude comes in looking technical, looking strong, throw in what people would consider ordinary strikes, and then you set up the flash, that's where all the stars are made, man. You think of who's the tall dude with the fro he just fought 2 weeks ago? Brazilian guy. Crazy power, did the worm.
Oh, Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. Thank you, Derek. You think of Johnny Walker, his explosiveness has only benefited from him becoming more technical. Yeah. So if we can see Christian Leeroy Duncan doing that, boy's going to have a hell of a career. Like I said, give it 2 years, we'll see him in the top 15.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say too, man, because one wrong move from Petrosyan, Christian Duncan would have had a highlight reel KO. So it's not like you could fault this dude completely. Like, one zig instead of a zag, your head is going flying into the bleachers the way this dude is throwing. But all right, fair play, good fight.